the person is involved, is consciousness also involved?
Huh.
That's what I'm getting stuck.
Okay. So we don't find the person
Yes.
when we look.
Yes.
When we look, what do we find? We find consciousness. I am.
Yes.
But consciousness has some powers. We talked about it yesterday. The power of attention, the power of belief. What is this power of belief? Have you looked at it? Let's look together. It's very interesting. You see, what is the power of belief? I just am, and yet I have the power to believe what? Can I believe an object? Let's look together. If this object is in front of you,
Yes.
can you believe it? There's nothing to believe in it. It is just seen. You see, but you can
I can
believe.
use it. It's
Huh?
a tool.
Huh? The label came tool, and you can believe that label. The label can come iPad, and you can believe that label. But unless that concept comes, the thought comes, the label comes, there is nothing to believe or not. This much is seen. We can keep it slow. I know I talk fast.
No, 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 no. I'm just wondering, am I abdicating my responsibility?
We'll get there. We'll get there. Just when the building blocks are clear,
Yes.
then the later conceptual things can be easily answered.
Yes.
So right now you see that objects are appearing and disappearing,
Yes.
but belief only operates on an interpretation of an object.
Yes.
You with me? You see?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and the object can be seemingly external,
Yes.
or the object can be seemingly internal, which means you could be feeling a emotion, a sensation, a pain. You see, in either of these cases, external or internal, the power of belief only works on the interpretive mind. This labeling that happens and the ideas that come about something, the belief can only operate on these.
Yes.
With me?
Yes.
Okay. So what happens now when we pick up a belief about something? You see, so something happens. We read that appearance happened, and we say the mind comes and interprets it, saying this is very good. But it could also have said this is very bad. You
Yes.
see,
Yes.
now the power of belief then comes into play. You see, so when we say allow it to go, means we are not believing it. Just allow it to come and go.
Yes.
You see, but to give it some meaning, this is very good or this is very bad, means to give it some value. You see? So then what happens is that the problem is not in the very good or very bad, is in the presumption already which is bought that for me personally, this is good or this is bad. You
It's
see?
relevant. It's important.
It is relevant, it is meaningful, it is important.
Yeah.
You see? So whether we are saying yes, yes, or we are pushing it aside, either it becomes a desire or it becomes an aversion, it is actually the same thing. Both is the use of this power of belief. You see? Now suppose that this power of belief was not there. Then how would your day-to-day experience be?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. You see this already, isn't it? No matter what the events are happening, things are going on, the interpretive mind still comes with its ideas of things, but it just comes and goes without the power of belief. There can be no suffering possible, there can be no identification possible. So you already see that this is a wonderful way, isn't it? Why is belief a problem? It is because using this belief, it is this, okay, who is giving the belief before you even come there? You see, the presence was there, and then these powers started operating, attention, belief, all of these things. You see? So the power of belief, therefore, cannot belong to a person. It must belong to consciousness itself. You see? Now, what happens to consciousness when it believes something? Suppose the thought was, I am a bad person, or that is too blatant. Suppose the thought was that I'm not ready yet. I'm useless. Okay. I am useless. Okay. So the I am is true. I exist is not false. It is what you put at the end of that, which is I am useless. You see, once meaning is given to that, relevance is given to that, then what happens to consciousness?
It starts playing that.
It starts playing as if it is useless. You see, as if it is the attribute of itself. That is uselessness. So it's taken this concept which came up from the mind and added it to the basket of identity. You see, this is what we call conditioning. You see, so conditioning is nothing but this. I am remains pure, unassociated, and all that we have attached to it, using the power of our belief, makes up the person. You see? So person is nothing but a bundle of beliefs. You see? And when we look back at our life, we see this to be true. 10 years ago, you would have said, I'm this type of person, this type of person, this type of person. Today, you might say, I'm this type. That has changed. So, what has changed? The beliefs about ourselves have changed. Now, to be more and more into personhood, we have to add more and more conditioning. So all our self-help programs, all the skills that we are learning, everything, all of this makes us a certain type of person. You see, and we want to become better at being some type of person. How? By adding more and more concepts about that. You see, now in satsang, it is the reverse. We are saying we are ridding ourselves of all of these conditioning, all of these concepts, and coming to pure, unassociated being. You see, then these concepts start to fight back in some way because we nurtured them with great care in our basket. You see, so now you're looking at them as rotten apples. They'll say, no, no, I'm still useful. You see, so then it will say, but you are just avoiding responsibility. You see, you're throwing out all this concept of personal responsibility. As you're throwing it out, you're looking at the apple, and the apple says, see, you're just avoiding this. This is just a great way of avoidance that you have found. You see. Uh-huh. So then what to do? Some of us, we are still able to look at that in the face and say, okay, out. You see. Some of us, it still has some bite and we get stuck over there. So what to do with that when it gets stuck over there? Then we use the message that it is telling us for our inquiry. Say, you are abdicating your responsibility is the message of the mind. Who is this you?
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. You see, therefore, what it is saying is false.
Yes.
If the you itself, the premise of the thought, doesn't exist, then the message must be false. The
Yes.
premise must be true for the message to be true. The premise is that there is a you that exists in that way. You are saying it doesn't exist. Then what to do with it? Throw it away.
Children are there still.
Huh. Who children are there? Like that. Yeah. Who is this me? See, your deepest conditioning will then start to show up. I've given everyone a free pass in the Sangha and said, don't fight with the mother identity. You keep it. You see? So that is then the mind also doesn't know what to do because the mind will bring up this trump card of being a parent, being a mother, and say, see, now this one, you're still identified. I say, you keep it. It will not get in the way. You keep it. Even animals have it. A small fox will fight with an elephant to save his children. So I don't want to get into the get in the way of such primal belief systems. You see, you keep the mother identity. What else is there? Everything else can be thrown away. It will not get in the way of your freedom. Now, as your tree is empty of everything else, on only one branch is there. You see, the roots are being cut, everything is being cut.
So there's no responsibility.
There is no abdication of responsibility. In fact, it is what kind of mother would you like to give your children? Would you not like to present them with a mother who is free? Won't they be so blessed with your presence as you come to your unassociated beingness? Can you do more for them personally? Or is your presence going to bless them more because it is the presence of the Sadguru itself which is unassociated? You see? And am I saying that any action has to stop or you have to just stay in bed all day? I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that look, right now, that which has been pretended to be done by this person is not possible because no person actually existed. The actions can still move.
Yeah, so comes back to the doership
Yes,
thing,
yes,
which you were talking about
yes,
yesterday.
yes,
Yes.
yes. But you see now that the end of the doership debate is to see that there is no personal doer anyway. Therefore, who must be the doer?
Consciousness.
Consciousness. Then our ideas of what to do and what not to do we feel that we have to advise God on what should be done. The non-existent one should give God advice on how life should move.
Yes.
Because he will make a hash out of my life if I don't give him this advice. That is the feeling, isn't it?
No, the funny thing is, I've seen it again and
Yeah.
again and again that when he's doing it, everything just flows.
Yeah.
But that habit doesn't go. That
But
habit
that-
of
that-
I got the juices you get out of that personal doership. I think
Firstly, know that even the doing of personal doership, even the belief in personal doership, is his doing. So in satsang, what is the point of satsang then? It is just consciousness having a monologue with itself. Acha, are you done with this play or not? But I will play a little more maybe. I'll buy my next thought. It's part of the play. There is no choice here or there. Sometimes we say, okay, bring it on, do it's like that. But sometimes just to get some juices flowing, but it's not. There's no reality to it. You see, it's just consciousness right now having a monologue, saying, "Buddy, what is your next move? What do you feel to do? Let's play a little bit, Sujata, Ananta. Let's play a little more. Let's say like this. It's just a play. So ultimately, there is no way to force consciousness to stop playing as a person because consciousness is all there is actually. So in this play, the seeming role that is being played here now is that of a teacher and a student, but actually there is no distinction. It's clear. No? So even the pretense of personhood, who is doing? Consciousness itself. So the dropping of the pretense of personhood, who must do? Consciousness itself. Consciousness is now playing the game saying, come on, drop it. Come on, drop it. No, I can't drop it. No. It is just, suppose there were no other bodies visible and just this one came. You see? And this literally became a monologue like that. Yes, don't believe your next thought. But the thought is talking about my children. Okay, drop it. Who is the mother? No, but I still feel like. Yeah. You see, it is literally like this. It is one consciousness which is moving, but it is feeling like because the voices sound different, they're coming from different bodies, seemingly. It is not true. It is all of this is one movement in consciousness. You see? So just to give it more seeming reality, more bite. You see, what was the point of projecting all of this if it didn't have any bite or it didn't have any great joy? You see? What are the? That's why I refer to the books we like to read and the movies we like to watch. You see? Because all of them have some drama. Something should happen to the protagonist, ups and downs. Nobody like to read a book which is I woke up happy, I went to sleep happy. Next day I woke up happy, I went to sleep happy. What is this? So if you don't even want to read a book like that, ultimately we don't want a life like that. We want the drama. We want the drama of enlightenment also. It finally, I went to this retreat and it happened for me. You see, or I went to this retreat and nothing happened for me. We want either drama to just see that what did I learn? That I've always only been that. There was nothing to do, nowhere to go. Doesn't sound an exciting enough end to the story. You see? That's why often I say that if your novel was to end right now of the story of your life and it ended with a sputter, nothing happened.
fantastic. Such a relief.
Very good, very good. So that if you're happy with the sober seeing like this, okay, nothing has to change in the worldly realm. You see, no halo has to come, nobody has to fall at your feet. You just seen that it's just always been just this.
Yes.